But you know where else I couldn't go, Tim? I couldn't go to Maryland. How'd you like that transition?
Yeah.
Did you like that? That was pretty good.
Yeah,
Wasn't
Maryland. Maryland's been a hot mess for a while, but yeah,
it has been.
Yeah.
It has been. And now they're going to potentially get insurance requirements for concealed carry now. Do you know that, Tim?
Yeah, it's look, we can get into the story and I can share my thoughts, but I'll just say this going into it. This is just another example of them harassing gun owners. There's nothing to be gained by any of this other than to harass you and to pressure you through the color of law or whatever, not to exercise your rights. They want to make it so painful for you that you'll just opt out. Like, you know what? It's just not worth it. I don't want to maintain all this insurance. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to, go get a doctor's note to have approval from the state to own a firearm.
Right.
I'm just done. And that's why they keep barraging us with this stuff. But anyway.
Mm-hmm. No. You're absolutely correct. In fact, let me introduce what they're doing. And I'm going to show you some unintended consequences, because that's almost more fun than covering the news themselves of what they're doing, the unintended consequences, because they just never see it through. Yeah. But Dr. Button Pusher, this is number one. Maryland bill would force gun owners to get $300,000 liability insurance to wear or carry. So only $300,000.
Yeah,
and this is number two. Yeah, it's pennies.
I mean, 100,000 here, 100,000 there. Pretty soon you're talking about real money. But anyway.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. So Maryland House Democrats introduced a controversial gun safety bill requiring gun owners to forfeit their ability to wear or carry without firearm liability insurance. The legislation would prohibit the wear or carry of a gun anywhere in the state unless the individual has obtained a liability insurance policy of at least $300,000. Now, the thing that I found so fascinating about this is they're trying to play it off as like, oh, this is such a new and novel idea and a creative way to help common sense safety and blah, blah, blah. It came out of San Jose, California. They already did it 2.5 years ago, but in a city, not a state. Come on. Yeah. And it's stupid there, too.
It's just a tax on your rights, just indirectly.
Yeah, pretty much. And one of the things that bothers me the most about this, and I said this when I talked about this on my channel, you're imposing fees and fines on people, which then prices you out of your own rights, right? The same party, and I've said this so many times, the same party that says soak the rich, down with the rich guy, the rich person is putting everyone else out of business. They're taking advantage of the system, the 1% XYZ. I'm for the little guy. They're the ones taxing you out of your own rights.
Yep. Oh, it's just more hypocrisy.
It's just,
yep, absolutely.
Oh,
we hate the rich, eat the rich, tax the rich, screw the rich, rich. Oh, and by the way, only rich can have guns. Only the rich can have firearms. I mean, that's basically what they're saying here. It's just it's the never-ending, boundaryless hypocrisy of the gun grabbers. It's just on full display yet once again.
That's right.
And of the far left.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's also true. Are you ready for the holes? You ready for the holes here?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Oh, we're getting ready. Oh, let's get it. All right. So this is number 4. Let me show you some nuance here. According to the proposed law, the liability insurance requirement does not apply to members of the military or federal law enforcement officers. There is also an insurance exemption if a gun is unloaded. So don't worry, Tim. You can carry your unloaded gun around just fine. You don't need an insurance policy. So just know that. And then this part. As the bill is currently written, local and state law enforcement officers are not exempt from the insurance requirement. So
they killed their own bill with that one.
Military are exactly.
Not gonna get any
so feds and military, you're exempt, but the state police, you're going to need to get it too. Yeah,
looks like the politicians are trying to drive a wedge between themselves and local law enforcement.
Man, that
ain't going to make them too happy.
No, they're doing it wrong. I mean, like, so.
No, but seriously, though, I mean, this is one thing that I've said for many years. It's like, if you want to impose these nonsensical restrictions on us, why do you keep exempting the government? If I can only have 10 rounds, then the police only get 10 rounds, And so to that end, I actually agree. If they're going to do something stupid like this, it should apply to everybody equally. That way we can get these, law enforcement agencies on our side of the argument pushing back against it. Go ahead and do these stupid things, but be consistent. You don't, it's like, gun control would come to a screeching halt if the federal government realized that they had to apply the same laws that they do to us to their own protection details. If the Secret Service could only run around with 5-shot revolvers or 10-round magazines and guns, the discussion would end right there.
That's true. That's true. It's very true. Are you ready for ultimate stupid though? Because here it comes. Oh, here it comes. Doctor, this is number 5. While supporting overall gun regulations, Largo-based criminal defense attorney Vernon Brownlee said to Fox 45 News he believes this bill may hold law enforcement officers accountable. Wait for it. Quote, this legislation aims to enhance accountability among police officers, particularly addressing the disproportionate impact of their misuse of deadly force on the black community, Brownlee said. In essence, the legislation introduces a mechanism whereby repeated violations of the statute could lead insurance carriers to consider an officer a liability, rendering them uninsurable. Well, Tim, that would mean that police officers wouldn't be able to carry their guns because they aren't insured. Because
but the state police are outside of this requirement. What's the difference between the state police and every other law enforcement agency in Maryland? What is? They have some sort of a special they have like a different union that negotiated a better deal. I mean, why are the state police exempt?
No, all state. All state. That's the whole point. All state law enforcement, all of them, are not exempt. Are not exempt.
I could have swore it said earlier that the state law enforcement and military were exempt, just not everybody else.
No. So you kind of got half and half. Okay. So military and federal law enforcement are exempt. Okay. Those are exempt.
Well, Lord knows
state
federal
and
law
local are not.
Okay. Lord knows federal law enforcement's never done anything wrong.
Exactly. Never ever. But the good news, Tim, because this will really cut down on disproportionate use of violence through uninsuring of police officers by existing insurance carriers. So the police in Maryland just aren't going to have guns because the insurance policies won't be issued.
We can get them some of those little Bobby uniforms from England, and make them wear the little checkered caps and, here's your nightstick. Sorry, no gun for you. Well, no, actually you can carry a gun. It just can't be loaded because of the insurance requirement.
Exactly.
You can point it at them.
Nailed it.
If you need to pull a trigger, it's going to get ugly.
It's going to get really clicky. No, 100%. I'm down with it. I think that's the workaround.
Cops are going to be walking around like Barney Fife with an unloaded gun. Yeah, they'll have one round in their glove box that will ping the station if they unlock the glove box to retrieve their one round.
Exactly. Oh yeah. No. Are you insured? No, you can't save that life today. You're not insured. And now, Tim, this is the part I think is going to elicit a small reaction from you. I'm going to be honest. This is number 6. Speaking to Fox 45 News over the phone, Maryland Fraternal Order of Police President Clyde Boatwright stressed the importance of making sure state and local law enforcement have the same protections as federal officers. Quote, we would appreciate if our Maryland law enforcement officers receive the same rights as federal officers, Boatwright said. If our federal partners are exempt, state and local officers should be afforded that same right. Afforded rights, Tim.
Yeah, they're talking about rights here. What about the rights of your citizens? Right. Why are you standing up for your rights, but not those of your citizens you're sworn to protect the rights of?
Exactly.
Oh, my goodness,
whoa. This is... Exactly. This is terrible. We can't have this. As the Fraternal Order of Police President, everything, Mr. Boatwright, this is an unconstitutional thing. The police need the same exemption. What about the people? Screw them.
Because
the police need the exemption.
Because keep in mind, folks, the police are civilians. They're just like you. Their rights are your rights and vice versa.
Yeah.
But apparently they're more equal than we are in the state.
They are more equal. 2 times. Yeah. 2 times more equal in Maryland. Yeah. So I thought you'd get a kick out of that part. I thought I brought that for you, just for you.
There's just so tasty, much delicious treat on Monday. In one article. It's like, man, if you need any more evidence that far left, the mind virus of the left is actually a mental disorder. I mean, this article sums it up so nicely. The mental gymnastics going on here. It's just like, oh my goodness. It's like they never took a civics class. Anyway, okay.